Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 revenue development and business late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you the entrepreneur, you the single mom, or you the single dad, or you the married couple, you the person that get up every single day, work hard, and then come home and work double hard on your business. That's right. This show is specifically for you and to provide you with the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision I believe you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always like to share that I believe that you have 3 visions, by the way. And tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whatever time you're watching, by the way, these experts are going to help. But I believe first you have a vision for yourself, right? There's a certain way that you want to live. There's certain food that you want to eat. I'm sure it's organic, by the way, right? There's a certain lifestyle that you want. And it takes resources, especially if you're an entrepreneur, to make that happen. And then the second vision I believe you have is you have a vision for your loved ones, like the people you care the most about. Some of you want to send your kids to a school of your choice. Some of you, like me, you have Mother Dear. Mother Dear is 74 years old, lives about 15 minutes away. And during these last 18 months, she's got really good at ordering on Amazon, ordering online. I try to remind her the credit card's connected somewhere, by the way. She just, I think I ordered this. I think I ordered that. But you love to be able to do things for other folks. And then there's a third vision I believe you may have. And that's really a vision for the people out there you were called to serve. And as an entrepreneur, they're waiting on you. You've got these gifts, you've got these talents, and you want to get those out to the world. And in order to do that, it takes resources to hire an administrative assistant. It takes resources to get that website done. It takes resources to run the marketing and get it out there. And it takes resources to keep you going. So you're going to get those resources and get some help this evening. So our very, very first guest, as we welcome you aboard, is none other than Army A. Army A, they've got your resume. They can Google you. They're Googling you now. Your name's different, right? So they got to go spell it, and they're Googling you right now and trying to learn all about you. So I don't have to read this long resume, which I hate doing. Why don't you take a minute or two and kind of share with the audience your origin story? Like, what was the defining moment that got you to doing what you're doing right now?
Well, first, good evening, Jay, and everyone. I'm so happy to be here. And right now, I am the founder and CEO of Wealth and Wellness Global. For the longest time, I have done financial planning and wealth management and managed 9-figure businesses and so forth. And my clients always confided in me, not only about their money, but about everything about their lives. And so for me, it was a very good transition to come to Wealth and Wellness, which I actually cover different areas of life, because money by itself, it's good. It's very good. I love to have money and I have money, but it's not enough just to have money. And that's what I teach. And I'm also the author of Wealth Wealth and Wellness. No, maybe second book is coming. The author of Joyous Wealth, 56 Secrets to Riches and Wellness.
You know, I love it. And as you mentioned the word wealth, I don't want to sound like a wet blanket over here, but, why do people kind of struggle with really creating wealth? I mean, they had to know since they were little kids, spend less than you make. It can't be a new idea. But why do some folks find themselves struggling with the whole concept of money and finances? Like, what's one of the biggest challenges that hold folks back?
There are a few reasons. One of them is the mindset. Everything worthwhile takes effort, takes energy, takes time, and there are always challenges. So sometimes if we are faced with a lot of challenges, we give up. That's one reason. So the other reason is it's embedded in us from our families, from our ancestors. Money is hard to get. Money doesn't go on trees and stuff like that. And sometimes people are actually doing work and jobs that they don't necessarily enjoy. I know some people who are doctors and lawyers and they don't necessarily care for it because their parents wanted them to be doctors or lawyers. If you want to be a chef, but you're a lawyer, become a chef. You don't have to be a lawyer. And I always say, follow your heart. Don't just do something. Once you follow your heart and you follow your passion, then you want to do that. It's just, there's no stopping.
You know, I love your heart to give. And as folks are watching, listening right now, they might be wondering, you have this phrase called conscious living. And conscious living means different things to different people. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into the title. We'll ask about these 3 Ds that she has, and we'll get to that. But, you know, she talks a lot about conscious living. She even does a whole workshop on this thing. So, you know, I think it's fair. I hope she's okay with me asking this to define what is conscious living and why is it so important that you even dedicate a whole workshop to teach it.
Okay, so I go with my 4 cornerstone philosophy of physical, emotional, intellectual / mental, and spiritual. Now, the way I start workshops or any conversation for that matter is that let's look at our lives. Let's look at your life, for example. So physical, anything to do with money, shelter, your car, your food, your physique, it's all about the physicality of it. Then we have our emotional realm, which is, are you normally happy? Are you generally angry, sad? Are you holding on to some old emotions? Number 3 is mental and intellectual, to be mentally stimulated all the time, to be creative, to have a clear mind, and to have a growth mindset instead of like a fixed mindset. And then there is a spiritual, which is extremely individual. Some people believe in religion. Some people believe in spirituality, which is God, Goddess, all that is the universe. So my idea is that, first of all, let's look at each segment, each section, and look at what it is that you want. So under physical, let's say you want a car. What kind of car do you want? Do you want a house? Do you want a $2 million house, or you want a $500,000 house? Or is it important to you? Why is it important to you? How much money do you want to make? Why do you want to make $5 million a year? Is it necessary to have $5 million? Can you live with $150,000 a year? And then you go through all the segments. That becomes a conscious living. You are very conscious of what you want, the reasons you want them, and what it gives you. For example, everyone in North America, we're all about money. Everybody wants lots of money and lots of money. Why? What does it give you? Does it give you power, or does it give you a sense of serenity, a sense of security, a sense of empowerment? What is it that it gives you? That is the reason. If you dig deeper, you will say, you know what? I don't need to work so hard to make $3 million a year. I can live on $150,000 and manage my 2 kids and my partner. $150,000 is an okay money, but then you spend so much time with your family, with your children, you go on vacation, or you say, you know what? I'm driven. I want that $100 a year income. Then you come from a place of choice. You're not given instructions by society or culture or any. You just do what you want.
Wow. I mean, you're spot on. Sorry, we was getting just a little bit of static at the end, but we could hear every word you were saying. It was kind of like a little static going on there. So I just want to make sure we got your mic hooked up there. As you was talking about, you can live on whatever amount it is that you have to live on, which I know is very, very hard to do. So congratulations on that, by the way, and talking about how people can do that. I want to talk about the power of collaboration for a moment, because one of our 12 rules for life is that collaboration crushes competition. Let me say that again. Collaboration crushes competition. And we're collaborating right now because of Linda Clemens, right? Linda Clemens decided to connect us together. Shout out to Linda Clemens. You may be watching right now, by the way. Shout out to you. And tell us a moment about why it's important to collaborate with other folks and why you just can't do this alone. You cannot do it by yourself.
Absolutely. If we are entrepreneurs, is the static gone?
Yes.
From this end, I'm okay. Like there's no commotion here.
Nope. It sounds perfect over there. I was just double checking. Ladies and gentlemen, we're live. This is like real time. This is like real time. You talk about comeback champions. She's bouncing back right now. I cannot make these stories up. But thank you for hanging in there, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate it. Back over to you about the power of collaboration.
Yes, thank you. Collaboration is necessary because if you're an entrepreneur and you own your own business, you need to be able to communicate with your team. You need to be able to communicate with your clients and uh, have a very, how do you say, um, compatible, that's the word, very compatible relationship. We are always in relationships, right? So collaboration becomes necessary because if you want to scale your business to millions and millions of dollars, if your clients are not happy with you or they don't trust you, then how are you going to build? Or your team doesn't have your back. If you are an employee, however, you still have to have that relationship with your colleagues, with your subordinates, and your bosses. As a result, everything becomes extremely important.
Everything becomes extremely important, and that is so important. It's extremely important. Talk about the 3Ds, if you would. I like that. Desire, determination, and dedication. We're doing a little determination right now, by the way, but desire, determination, and dedication. We're exuding that right now. The 3Ds. And as you're listening at home, do me a favor. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. We believe in the giver's economy. The person that outgives the competition out earns the competition. The person that outgives the competition out earns the competition. So hit the share button now, and you can pay this message forward to someone else. So do it now. Do it when? Do it now. And if you listen to the podcast, I know. Don't send me notes. You can't do it. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. But if you can, and you're live right now, or you got it on one of the social media platforms, share the message forward. All right, back over to you. The 3Ds.
So my 3D concept is based on desire, determination, and dedication. So to do anything in life, anything, you have to have the desire. It has to be 100%. If you want to build a new city, a new hospital, if you want a new relationship, you have to have the desire level of 100%. Then you have to decide that you're going to do it. Not one day, someday. If you're going to do it, when you're going to do it. You're going to decide you're going to do it today, or you may decide you will do it next year. But once you decide, you're going to start the process. And number 3 is dedication, which is your commitment. You need to be committed 100%. Challenges will happen. There is no two ways about it. Then you got to go for it and just keep going until you actually get to the final destination, which is your vision. So you have to have a vision and then follow the 3D concept, and you will definitely get there. If not 100%, 99%, you will get there.
I love that philosophy. We should all have a philosophy of life. A philosophy is what drives us. I know you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, not the word philosophy," but truly, you know, philosophy is what drives the quality of what you do. Your skills are how you do it, and I love the 3D philosophy. If we're watching right now, a number of folks might be thinking, "Wow, she's perfect. Like she has it all together." Now, Shay, has there ever been a time in her life where there was some challenge and there was some setback? And how does she overcome it? Now, if that's never happened to you, Armane, it's okay to say, "Hey, Shay, that's never happened to me. My life is smooth. The money is not funny. The change is not strange. I'm just relaxing, and I'm getting a little pleasure out of life." But if there was a time that has happened, and you at home, you can watch with new eyes right now. You can listen with new ears. It's not only she shares maybe the setback, but more importantly, what was the lesson that she learned that you can walk away with? I turn over to you, Armane.
So first of all, I came to Canada, I'm Canadian, from the Middle East when I was a teenager with my younger sister. We were homesick. There was no one here. We were homesick. We couldn't speak English. And it was very, very difficult. So my sister was younger, you can imagine. But we made it through because I had a vision. What saved me was my 3D concept at the time. I realized that years later. And so we made friends, we went to school, joined the community. So we had hard times, but I kept that vision. I wanted to be, I wanted to go to university, I wanted to speak English, I wanted to do so many things, and I did. Another thing that was very difficult, I ended up in the financial world, male-dominated industry in my 20s, early 20s. And I loved it. I loved the financial world. However, my thing was basically self mastery. That's what I had to learn. Sometimes I was very excited about everything. I was never using drugs or alcohol or anything like that, just because maybe because I was homesick. I don't know. Um, my energy wasn't up to par, and to speak with clients, you have to have high energy. There is no two ways about it. And I just didn't want to talk to anyone for maybe 2 days, 3 days. And I had to learn. I had to learn to balance my emotions, not to be so high over there and not so down. And that was very difficult, I got to tell you. But I learned. I loved my clients, and I just managed.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing. One thing is you have a heart to give and you have a heart to serve. And certainly so far, we appreciate you being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. One of my favorite questions to ask, and I guess they're all my favorite questions to ask, so I wouldn't ask them, I guess. But this is really one of my favorite questions to ask, and that is, of all the mentors you had along this journey of life, and you've had so many mentors, I'm sure, along this journey of life, what is one lesson, just one lesson you've learned from any of your mentors that you can take that lesson and you can pass it on to us? And you watching right now, or you listening, you may never meet her mentor, and that's cool, but a piece of her mentor's lesson goes with you.
Yes. Shay, I have had many mentors over the years. And one thing that really got my attention the moment I heard it, my mentor said to me, Armine, you have a lot of gifts, you have a lot of wisdom, you have a lot of everything, but you need to be cultivated. And I'm thinking, what? Cultivated? What does that mean? I need to be cultivated. And so he helped me to be cultivated. That's one thing I always remember.
Wow. Well, and so you at home, you too can be cultivated. Thank you so much for sharing. Tell us, if you can, what type of clients do you work with, if your firm is even still working with clients? And number two, how can folks best connect with you? So I guess the two-part question, what type of clients do you work with? And number two, how can folks who are watching at home, how can they best connect with you?
So first, I'm going to give out my website. Is wealthandwellnessglobal.com. It's wealth and A-N-D, wellnessglobal.com. I offered 4 different courses, and depending on where you're at in your life, then the clientele would be different, right? So depending on what you're looking for. Number 1 is how to create and build wealth. Number 2 is how to create your desired life. And desired life doesn't mean it's just money. You can have whatever it is you want, including money. Number 3 is how to be in alignment with the divine and with your divine self and have increased peace of mind. And number 4 is how to have habits that will help you to get what you want in life, which is success habits. So my clients, some of them are multiple business owners, some are 8 or 9 figure business owners, some are just starting. It depends. I would love to work with people because I just love people. I know they always say segmentation with clients and we only take if you only have $5 million. Right now, I just love to give. I have a lot of information. I have a lot of wisdom I've acquired. And my workshops are either 1 day or 2 days. Retreats are on hold right now. So you either take 1 day or 2 days. And after that, we decide how we're going to work together.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad you worked with us tonight or this morning or this afternoon. I'm so happy you were on the Happy Entrepreneur Show and shared your 3Ds. So let me turn over you if I can. I know coming up right after we're going to have Mustafa. But I want you to go ahead, if you would, and take a moment and share whatever your closing thoughts are to empower folks, to inspire folks. Once again, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I know with certainty you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And you've given us the most precious gift that you have. And truly, honestly, that's your time. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoy this. I really, really enjoy it. My thoughts is that follow your heart. That's what I say all the time. If you follow your heart, you know what you want to do in life. Just follow it. If you have this thought in your mind, in your body, in your heart that you want to do something. Where is it coming from? Your spirit is speaking with you, or God is speaking with you. It depends on your beliefs about spirituality, but I totally believe in spirit. My spirit is telling me do this or do that, and I follow that. If you follow that, you're in alignment with your body, mind, and spirit, and everything will be easier, everything will be more peaceful and faster. Thank you so much. I totally enjoyed tonight.
Thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you. You're a rock star. You're amazing. I'm going to encourage you to keep doing God's work, especially making sure people are financially secure, financially independent. And I love the ultimate, which is being financially wealthy, doing what you want to do when you want to do it, being able to give the money away to make more impact in the world. And that's what it's all about. It's about the money and it's about the impact. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Okay. God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Coming up next, we have the one and only Mustafa, who's in the building, by the way. And he's been over there waiting and listening and hearing all about the money, hearing all about the 3Ds, hearing about all the wonderful stuff she's doing with wealth, which is really totally amazing. She's an amazing individual, by the way. But Mustafa, how are you, my friend?
Thank you, Che. Good evening, and I was enjoying, the discussion with Armenia. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, just like I mentioned earlier, there's this bio that's out there, and then folks obviously can go and they can Google you, which I'm sure they did as soon as you put it out there. But take a moment, if you would, and let folks know a little bit of your origin story, like what took you to, what was the defining moment that got you to where you are now?
Sure. Thank you, Che. So, in brief, my story is that I'm someone who lived several career lives in one single life. I started my first life as a pharmacist out of passion for chemistry. Then I moved to international diplomacy out of passion of traveling the world, learning other languages, bridging gaps between different cultures. And then my third life was as investment banker. So I work in a multinational investment bank based in China, which is very similar in nature to the World Bank, out of passion to, help other countries, especially developing countries, bring some investments there. I was so lucky, to be a reason to bring, I would say, millions of US dollars, of investment to several other countries. My fourth life is currently as entrepreneur. I am the founder and CEO of the Passion MBA, which is a coaching a global company. I'm also a life coach, so I coach hundreds of professionals around the world to find their dream careers and build their dream businesses. I'm a blogger, so I write on issues related to career topics and business topics as well. I'm an author of the upcoming book, The Passion Project, as well.
So what don't you do? I'm just curious. Listen to all that's like, what don't you do? From a pharmacist to being in banking to now being passionate. You have this whole thing called the Passion MBA, right? That's the tagline, ladies and gentlemen. So I know you're wondering, like I'm wondering, what in the LL Cool J is the Passion MBA? He didn't mention that, so let's ask him now so we can just get that out the way. What is the Passion MBA and why that surname, if you would?
That's a concept I learned over the years. So being a generalist is something maybe is, jack of all trades is something maybe we learn in schools to not to appreciate, right? So in order to succeed in life, you have one definition of success. You have to be a specialist, right? But I was always trying to pursue my passions. So yes, when I was 10 years old, I wanted to be a diplomat. But then when I was 16, I wanted to study all kinds of chemistry. And I thought, I want to do it, I don't want to study political theories and global affairs. I just want to study chemistry as of now. And when I graduated, I realized that still I have my passion for diplomacy. So I say, okay, I have to study. I have to prepare myself. It's a long journey to be a diplomat. It's a contest. You have almost 2,000 people are contesting every 2 years or so. At the end of the day, they take 20 or 30. But I don't have anything to lose. I'm just following my passions. And after 11 years of my career working in the United Nations in New York, in Africa, in Malawi, and in China, I figure out that I want to do something different. And here it comes to, my third career. So I moved to the third career, as we say. So I work in investment banking. It was a complete shift in my life. I don't have a finance background, so I had to study. So I did my MBA in Manchester University in the UK while working. And doing an MBA is like knocking different doors, like 20 doors. You are exploring entrepreneurship, you're exploring finance, accounting, corporate design, private equity, venture capital, a lot of concept. And this is how I came up with the idea that, I have done that in the past, a few times. And doing an MBA is like exploring your endless number of possibilities, in the future. So because we could, we have a crossroads of 3 or 4 streets or roads or path, and you could take any of them and your life will depend, will change depending on the path that you're going to take, right? And this is how I came with the idea of having the Passion MBA as a concept, helping people to realize what they really want to do. People who are stuck in their careers, whether they want to start a business or, have another career. And because I have that, did it in the past quite a few times. So I have this practical step-by-step blueprint.
And the reason I asked that question is with the Passion Project, the concept is that you're going to help folks find their dream career and or build their dream business. And someone at home just peeked up real quick. They said, what? Find your dream career and also find your dream business? That sounds like an oxymoron, right? I mean, it sounds like they're competing interests, right? I mean, I'm sure people do both. So take a moment for someone who's got a chance to enjoy life and kind of go through different paths and still join the path. Then you come back and say, no, I'm going to help you find your dream career and your dream business, and you can just relax. So tell us about the Passion Project and how that came about. It's kind of interesting here.
Thank you. So the whole process, it depends on you or the client. It's almost the same blueprint, the same steps, but depending on, let's take it step by step. So the Passion Project, the idea here is that your life or career or whatever business, if you consider it as project, some of us, they build their lives, careers on the wrong foundations. Okay. So what happened is that they spend most of their life fixing the problems coming from those, weak foundations, right? Other people, they spend most of the time, they build it on the weak foundations, or let's say, the whole project would collapse. So what I'm trying to do here is to help them to build them on the right foundation. And maybe the right foundations for you are different from, my right foundations. So we dive deeper into a process. We make sure that all the myth that people believe in are busted. For example, I mentioned earlier, in order to succeed in life, you have to be a specialist in only one single domain or one single industry. And that's not true. So I'm proving, by research that actually you enjoy more life, you succeed more life if you do different things in life. And then we dive deeper into a process of, I call it the golden triangle. Okay. So if you build your life on your passions, your values, your vision for your dream lifestyle, you will never miss it.
So you said your passion. I'm trying to follow this. Your passions, values, your vision for your dream lifestyle. Got it.
So let's imagine that we are traveling, on a very long journey. Okay, thousands of miles. What I need, is enough fuel, a GPS tracker, and then an end destination or the address to put down in my GPS tracker, right?
Right.
Your passions actually are your fuel. If you don't have enough passions, you burn out at some point, or you just stop at some point, right? And your values are the GPS tracker, is what will make sure that you are on the right track, that, you don't miss, your target. And unless you have a vision for your dream lifestyle, what are you heading to, let's say in the coming few years, let's say 5 years from now, where do you want to go? I've seen people who are not able to visualize that dream lifestyle. So they try different passions. They are not so aware of their values. So they try, but unless you are aware of your passions, your values, and then the end destination there, it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. And I'm curious, as you're talking about how you're able to help other folks do this, and you shared your journey, as we're sitting over here and we're connecting the dots. Like, wow, he was able to move over from being a pharmacist. He was able to go do a little bit of finance. He was able to do a little bit of traveling. Then now he's able to go save the world. You know, he's this world saver, world changer guy. They're probably stepping back saying, wow, and he knows his passion. Like that's like the ultimate. It's like, whoa, he's found the secret sauce. You know, it may be curious, at what point was there ever a struggle? At what point was there ever a time that he wake up and look in the mirror and tell himself, there has to be more to life than just this? So do you mind stepping back and maybe telling us a time where maybe there was a setback, there was a challenge, and things didn't work out? And then what did you do to turn it around? And maybe we at home, and you the listener, you the viewer, you can benefit from these challenges because you can apply those same principles. Now, if you haven't hit the share button, I know I mentioned that earlier. I want you to do me a favor. Just hit the share button. Just hit the share button. If you're watching, you can see this live for whatever reason, and it pops up. Just put serve plus add value. That's what they're both doing this evening. Serve plus add value. We believe in the giver's economy. The person that outgives the competition truly out-earns the competition. That's right. If you outgive the competition, you can out-earn the competition. That's the giver's economy. So over to you, Mustafa, to tell us about a time you had a setback and how did you turn it into a comeback?
Thank you, Chip. I mean, all of us, I mean, everyone has his or her own insecurities, right? I mean, I grew up as a very shy introvert kid. I had low self-esteem and I didn't have enough confidence. But I learned something in my life that, you know, you can only get what you want by hard work, you know, building a vision and then work hard for it. So I just had to work on myself. You know, I knew my insecurities, I knew my weaknesses, and I don't need to compete with anybody. I'm just competing with myself. And the idea of, you know, not competing with everybody and anybody around you and competing with yourself is so powerful because I don't care about whatever happening around me. I don't care who is better than me. I'm just looking at myself and I'm comparing myself every day. You know, I'm comparing myself today with tomorrow and then last year and then next year. And, you know, the more I'm progressing, I don't care. You know, I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. Looking at my insecurities, I love to watch Rocky movie. You know, for me, Rocky is a very interesting story. I love the underdog, you know, stories. People who didn't have anything rather than their hard work, right? I still recall when I was 5, 6 years old, I was watching the movie. I was looking at him running in the streets of Philadelphia and kids are running after him. I was imagining myself running after him. And, you know, anytime I face any difficulty, I just remember that, you know, because it's a true story. You know, it's a story of every day, every one of us. You know, you get hit by life, you fall down, but, you know, get up. Another technique that really helped me in reality, and when I was a pharmacist and I was preparing myself to be a diplomat, and to be a diplomat is you know, it's very, very hard to do. You know, you have every 1 or 2 years, you have 20 people only, you know, who are, you know, chosen for that. And I still remember most of the people around me were telling me, you know, there are 2,000 contestants, and at the end of the day, they take only 20 out of 2,000. So you are a pharmacist, okay? And there are hundreds of people there who their majors are in global affairs and international law and other stuff. And don't you think that you have a very limited chance? You have almost zero chance, right? And I was repeating that to myself all the time, almost every day while I was studying and preparing myself. And I was asking myself, do you think they can take you and leave all those guys with, you know, like much more expertise than experience than you have? And I say to myself, it's almost impossible for me. But the question that I used to ask to myself, and faith here is very important and crucial element, you know, of your success. You know, believing in yourself, believing in God or the universe or whatever power is helping you, you know, that this universe is fair. You know, when you work hard, you will get what you want. And then I was asking myself the same question, is it possible for you? But is it impossible for God? And in the same moment, I answer, no, of course no. Then back to myself, then focus on what you're doing. Then do your part, and don't care, don't think of, the other part. The other part is for him or for universe, to take care of. Do your part. And that helped me a lot. Whatever difficulty I'm having, I ask myself that question again, and I have the same answer every day almost. And then, okay, focus on your part.
Wow, I love it, man. Thanks so much. Spot on. As we're coming down the home stretch, I wish we had more time, but as we're coming down the home stretch, I'm wondering, one of my favorite questions to ask, by the way, which I just asked of Armenea just a moment ago, which is, of all the mentors you've had, and you've had different careers and different backgrounds, but of all the mentors you had along this journey that you've been on so far in life, what's one idea or one lesson you learned from any of your mentors that you're going to pass along to us now? What lesson comes about? Now, we may never meet your mentor, but the good news is a piece of your mentor is in you, and the piece that's in you, you're not going to pass to us. Isn't that great? You at home,
exactly.
Lean in. Like if you're at home, lean in right now. If you're listening, then kind of listen in, by the way, on your iPod or your AirPods. Do like this over your ears as you're listening to the podcast, and you too can enjoy it as well. Take it away, Mustafa.
Thank you, Jay. So, I was lucky to have, different mentors across, my different careers as well. But currently, I'm really enjoying that mentorship with one of my mentors and close friends, Jeffrey Berwin. He's based in Philadelphia, and he's one of the foremost storytellers in the whole world. And what I learned from him is storytelling has undeniable power. Okay. So whatever you are doing in life, whatever your profession, whatever your business is, you need to learn, the storytelling expertise, skills, talents, whatever. So it's not something easy to learn, but by time, because we are wired in a way, psychologically, right? Our DNA, our brain are wired, to when I'm telling a story, when I'm telling numbers or telling anything else, people maybe don't give much attention. But when I tell a story, oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
When I tease somebody with a headline or so, people get more interested. And I learned that, and I would love just to grasp, as much experience in that regard or that domain as I could, because it's so powerful. Whatever you're doing, the storytelling profession is almost the best.
Yeah. And you told about 20 stories throughout a year, by the way. And that was just a story you just told. Great job. No, I love it. In all seriousness, thank you so much. He's known as the Passion MBA, ladies and gentlemen, and he can help you not only find your dream career, but more importantly, your dream business, or dare I say, you can have it all. You can have it all. Even if you don't believe it, you're looking at the person that can help you make that a reality. Folks want to know now, what type of clients does your firm work with? And more importantly, how can they best contact you and connect with you?
So the typical client is, mid-level careers, managers, even a higher level as executives, or entrepreneurs who want to have that shift, because something I learned in my life, our passion change and shift all the time. Okay. So at some point when you are, let's say 35 to 45 years old, okay, you are somehow want to change. You tried something in your life or two domains or whatever and want to change. So here it comes to what I can offer to my clients and how people could reach me. So my website is thepassionmba.com. There are some very, very interesting stuff there. There's a quiz. You can figure out your next dream career or business, when you do that quiz. There's the top 10 mistakes to avoid when planning your career change or business change. And it's always there for free. On Instagram, the Passion MBA as well.
I love it. So let me say once again, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I want to thank Linda Clemens, by the way, who actually connected you and I together as well. One of my 12 rules for life is that, and we got 12, but one of them is that collaboration crushes competition. Collaboration
Exactly.
crushes competition. Success indeed is a team sport. You can only get so far by yourself. So I thank you so much, Linda, for connecting us together. We appreciate it. Thank you, Mustafa. I want to thank Armane, who is ahead of you.
Thank you,
Thank
Chef.
you, the viewer. Thank you, the watcher, as you're watching right now. And I want you to know that you've got greatness inside you. And for you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, for anyone who cares, is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day. And remember this as we close out. Time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So you got to live in the moment and you got to make it count. God bless and keep doing God's work. Thanks a lot, Mustafa. We appreciate you. We out here, everybody. Peace.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Thank you.